Hey guys, welcome back to Channel Pause Window Cleaning, and today I kind of want to tell you guys my story and my journey, the ups and downs of how I started a window cleaning business. Now, to start off, at that time I was going to school for business, right? For small business. And during this time, a friend of mine in Houston, Texas, he ended up starting a window cleaning business. And so it was a very interesting, job that kind of just stayed in the back of my mind. And then from there, I was going to school and everything. And then one day, a friend of mine here in Pasadena was like, "Hey, what are you thinking of doing? Like after you're done with college, or now in the middle of college?" I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll do window cleaning." And she was like, "Oh, really? Well, I need my windows clean." And so, I told her right away that, yeah, I've never done window cleaning before. I don't know like the whole techniques and everything. She's like, "Don't worry about it. You could practice at my house." And then I was like, even for payment, I don't know what to do. And she's like, "Look, I'll just give you the payment of the previous window cleaner and all that." And I was like, "Oh, but I'm starting." She's like, "Don't worry about it. I want to help you out." So really awesome friend of mine. She's even a family friend of mine, and she's a very nice person. And so at that moment, the first thing I thought about was like, okay, I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to go get a ladder. I'm going to go get like mops and squeegees. And, there was even like window cleaning solution thing in Home Depot. I got that. I know that some people said just use like dish soap and all sorts of stuff. I don't know what I got that day. I even got an aluminum pole, everything of everything. And I ended up going to her house, and she has 1,250 windows. 1,250 windows, and she wanted inside and out done. So well, I should say that they are French windows. So that was a very big project for my first job. Now, the job did take me 2 days, and she was okay with that. And she was like, "Look, if it takes even a third day, no problem." But she's a very nice person, very giving. And so she was very nice enough to let me be there to do these windows and in 2 days. And then from there, like her neighbor wanted it done, and like I kind of got like referrals in that sense. And so then from there, that's how I started to get into window cleaning, right? Now, the thing is that during this time, there was some like ups and downs that I kind of experienced. Like, for example, like here in Pasadena, there's a lot of hard water. So I didn't know like how to remove hard water stains from windows. And I saw people online saying different solutions, different this, different that. And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, that must work." And I tried to do it at a job site, would never work. Then from there, I saw another thing too about like using a water fed system, right? Like, so there is a water fed called the Nlyte, right? And it's just a DI system, okay? It's very small. And so I was kind of like, okay, so this is something that all the window cleaners are using. So I ordered it. I ordered one. It was about like $1,000. It came with an aluminum pole, which is again heavy, and it's like the worst pole you can get. But it was the whole kit. So then from there, I was like, all right, so I have everything here. Let me try this out. I used it, and then there was like on my first job, and there was like water spots everywhere. I didn't know any technique. I didn't know anything. I just thought, hey, you just get a pole, just kind of brush it, and then you're good to go. Yeah, you need to brush it, the frames, the window, and then you need to like rinse off, if that makes sense, right? I didn't know that. I was just like, oh, okay, let's just keep going until all the dirt's gone and just hope for the best, right? So then I come to realize then like it had a little meter on it, the TDS. And the TDS was like always like at 30 or 40. And I was like, oh, well, that's good, right? Like I tried my best, and I did the best that I could. And yeah, then I came to realize, I did some research online that the number has to be 10 and below. And I'm like, man, after one job is already at 40. So I was like, oh man, this is really bad, right? So then from there, I kind of was like, all right, well, if I'm going to use the water fed, I'm just only going to use it for the second story, right? I'll do everything the first story by hand, and then the second story, whatever, right? So yeah, it was fun times, but then eventually I learned on YouTube, like I looked at other people, and essentially I had the wrong system because this DI system is good for soft water, right? So I was using hard water for soft water, and that's why the results was really bad. And if not, I had to replace the resin every single job. So you can imagine how much frustration I had for $1,000. Fortunately, my mom gave me that as a gift, but it was just so frustrating because it was like, man, I got this system that apparently everyone says is awesome and it doesn't work. So all these different things, like it became like you know, troubleshooting. And but all in all, like it all started with my friend from Houston starting a window cleaning business. From there, I, you know, had my RAV4 that, you know, you probably see in older videos of this channel that I used, and that car was like, you know, my personal car slash, you know, work car. And it was, you know, it was a lot of fun. But again, like I was just going door to door. I didn't have a Yelp account. I didn't have a Google account. I didn't have anything. I just went door to door, just hope for references, and work was like super slow. Like I would get 1 or 2 jobs a month. No, 1 job a month, and I was like the happiest person. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, you know, I could charge a house like this like $200. Wow, I was like so happy, right? And it was something. So then from there, one tip that a good friend of mine really helped me out with was I went to Disneyland, and a friend of mine invited another friend, right? And this other friend was a pool cleaner, right? And he's here in not Pasadena, but he's here in California. And he's a really good pool cleaner. He's been doing this for, he was telling me he was like doing it for 15 years at the time. And I was like, man, that's awesome, man. Like, that's awesome that you did that. You know, do you have any tips? He's like, oh, Yelp all the way. And I was like, Yelp? What do you mean by that? He's like, yeah, you don't have a Yelp account or a Google? I was like, no, I just go door to door, word of mouth. He's like, dude, open up a Yelp account. And he actually went like with me, like step by step, like, okay, you need to do this, and help me choose a good profile picture. He helped me put some photos that I did. I highly suggest to take photos in every job that you do, that or videos. That helps you out a lot. But anyways, so I went in, I put some photos on Yelp and everything like that. And then I was like, okay, wow. So I think I was doing this for like 1.5 years without just going door to door and haven't used Yelp or any online presence. And hey guys, sorry, the GoPro overheated, so I had to change the battery and kind of let it cool off a little bit. But anyways, so yeah, he went step by step with me and everything, and took a lot of photos, helped me with putting my photos on and everything like that. And at this time was like about 1.5 years that I was going door to door using references and all that, never having an online presence like Yelp or anything like that. And come to find out, like, I think within a week, I mean, of course they're trying to make money, but they ended up calling me Yelp, and they were telling me about advertising. And I was like, you know, I don't really want to advertise. I don't have the money. And they're like, look, if you spend $150, and they broke down everything for me. They're really good salesmen. And they said, if you spend $150, we'll give you $300 for free, like, or 300 credits for free. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, well, if you just think of it like this, when you use Yelp, you actually go to the top of the search, and so people will look for you first before looking at the #1 of the list of window cleaning and all that stuff. And so I was like, all right, well, you know, I'm kind of like tight on money, and I don't like to spend money that I don't need to. So I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. What an awesome decision that was. At that point, my phone cannot stop blowing up. I was having people calling me all the time. They're like, oh yeah, well, like my windows clean. And then boom, 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 boom. I got reviews, boom, boom, boom. I was kind of doing it old school. I was asking people through my link. Like I would just send them my profile of Yelp and just hope that if I didn't send them that link, that they would, you know, write a review for me. So it was just a lot of like, a lot of work that I really was grateful for, or still am grateful for. And yeah, it was just an awesome experience. And ever since then, work has been great. You know, I've been very busy with work, and It's just, that's kind of how I started. You know, when it came to window cleaning, it was really hard the first year or two. Opening up a Yelp was very beneficial, and that's kind of why, if you kind of like watch my other videos, I try my best to be, you know, with the same theme, but try to, like, you know, maybe isolate certain categories, you know, but I try to keep the same theme with everything. You know, I always say, just have the foundation first. Open up a Yelp, open up a Google, try to do a social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, all these different things, and keeping that all in mind, it will help you to not be, like, how do I say it, you're preparing yourself now and also in the future, because once you start getting a lot of reviews, once you start getting a lot of pictures, your phone's not going to stop blowing up. It's going to people are going to keep calling, and that's kind of why I'm trying my best to do, is to try to help you guys, you know, have this awesome foundation, and then from there be able to progress and be as successful as you can be personally. And just, you know, I think, you know, everyone should start off by, you know, working hard and knowing the ins and outs. I know I always say WaterFed is the best, and it truly is. I think it's a phenomenal system, and it works wonders. But yet all that training I did before, getting on a ladder, trying to do some squeegee work, you know, and all these different things, and trying to do pole work from, you know, like a loft on the inside, you know, and try to clean that, because, like, let's say you only did WaterFed, and then after some time you're like, oh, now, like I was saying about the loft, you do inside windows where you cannot do WaterFed. How are you gonna do, you know, pole work, you know? So it's good to have that foundation of knowing, like, how to do pole work and everything, and that confidence of yours will be even higher, and you'll know what to do. Even troubleshooting, like, someone might say, oh, what's wrong with this? Oh, it's because, you know, like, a problem that happens here a lot in Pasadena is that there's a lot of older houses. And so in the beginning, if there was, like, let's say it was like fog in the middle, I'll be like, oh, I don't know. But now I'm just like, oh yeah, no, there's the seal that goes in, like, because it's a double panel, the seal somewhere, it's broken. That's why air got in, and that's why that has that crystal look or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay. So essentially it's more of like I said, I just want to kind of just be there for you guys, to help you guys to know that it's not easy. But at the same time, once you kind of get the hang of it, and also too, you know, it's window cleaning is not for everyone. You know, I know that a lot of people say that window cleaning is easy, do this, do that. But once you kind of get into the swing of things, you know, I honestly don't see myself doing any other job, because I like to be my own business owner with my wife, have our own schedule, have that flexibility. But then again, times like this where there's not a lot of work, you know, at that point, you're kind of like, what do I do? So there's a lot of things that are involved being a business owner, but I think window cleaning is awesome. I think that it's something that if you want your own schedule, you want to have, you know, and you can always have your own prices too. So like when like COVID hit, I raised my prices, you know, because everything went up for me. So it's not like, oh, you know, like when you're working, you know, your own job, you know, and you're like, oh, you have a set pay increase, you know, every couple of months or every couple of years or whatever, however your business, the job that you work for has it set up. Essentially with window cleaning, you're your own boss, right? And so like COVID, like everything went up like 8%, 9% with inflation or whatever. You know, hey, why don't you go up 8 or 9% too? So anyways, so that's kind of how I started. Like I said, all thanks to my friend in Houston. He started that window cleaning. Thanks to my friend here in Pasadena that had me do her windows. It was, you know, it's a lot of work, but you know, once you get the hang of it, now with the WaterFed, I don't even clean the outside anymore by hand. I just do WaterFed because, you know, I invested money into it so I can use it. And so when people are like, oh, I just only want to do by hand, you know, and then depending on the job, you know, if it's a couple windows, it's not a problem, but hardly ever do I actually do the outside by hand. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of my story. If you guys want to know more, you know, just always feel free to reach out. Like with the troubleshooting that I had, Yeah, it's a lot. I remember when I first started knowing, I didn't know what to do. You know, a lot of things I didn't know. I didn't know about tempered glass. I didn't know about how to razor. I didn't know how to do a lot of things. So I kind of avoided it. That's why I didn't, you know, do a lot of construction cleans with the razor. I would use the ultra fine steel wool and kind of remove paint that way. That was horrendous to do. I would highly not suggest doing that because your wrists will start hurting because you're just doing this all day, when a razor would have been easier. But again, I didn't know how to use a razor properly, so I didn't want to take that chance. So yeah, it's yeah, there's a lot of learning, but once you get into it, you guys will like it a lot. And yeah, but yeah, I guess if you guys have any other points, maybe some things that you learned when you started your business, or have any questions, put it in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like and to subscribe, because I have videos coming out every week. I have a goal this year to make $100,000, if not more. That would be awesome, this year. And so don't forget to, or well, check those videos out, right? And from there, you know, you can see my journey together. So anyways, yeah, I guess I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. So I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.